Today we'll be looking at organic pharmaceutical chemistry for students who are offering for pharmacy students in different universities or for other chemistry students that offers this particular topic. We're going to be looking at Alkyl Halides. This is a 300 level course for pharmacy students in the University of Benin, but in other universities it can be on 300 level or lower level, but it's talking about the same thing for schools, so long you're offering pharmacy or any course that deals with Alkyl Halides. So now let's go straight to the point. Now, what are Alkyl Halides? First of all, now when you in organic chemistry, it's very easy to understand terms by trying to understand the word. What are Alkyl Halides? Alkyl Halides are organic compound in which an alkane, one hydrogen atom of an alkane, has been replaced by a halogen atom. The halogen stands for halide. Now let's say, for example, this the formula, let's say X, where this stands for your organic compound. We can actually say an alkane, then your halogen. Now let's say, for example, let's take an organic compound propane, CCC. Now this is supposed to give us CH3, CH2, CH3, right? This is your propane and organic compound. Now you are having, let's say, for example, you are having a halogen, let's say chlorine. Now let's say, for example, this is an organic compound, propane, from the alkane family. This is your chlorine, a halide. Now by the time you replace this one of these hydrogen and bring in a chlorine here, it becomes an Alkyl Halide. So this compound is an Alkyl Halide. Alkyl, an organic compound or alkane compound that has lost its one hydrogen atom. That is why you can have something like methyl, ethyl, butyl, propyl. So this compound, you can call this chloropropane, right? Or propyl chloride. So this is an Alkyl Halide. Now let's go further. Alkyl Halide can be of three types. We can have your primary Alkyl Halide. You can have your secondary Alkyl Halide. Then you can have your tertiary Alkyl Halide. Now, what differentiates a primary Alkyl Halide, secondary Alkyl Halide, and tertiary Alkyl Halide? Now let's go straight to the point. We're not going to waste time. This is an This is an Alkyl Halide, but also we have primary, secondary, and tertiary. Now, what differentiates an Alkyl Halide from another primary, secondary, or tertiary? It is the particular carbon which the halogen group is attached to. Now, let's say, for example, on this particular carbon atom that is here, this particular carbon atom that is here, that this halogen is attached to, is bonded to just one carbon, bonded to just one other group, organic group, and has two nitrogen. Remember, there was a video I made on complete organic chemistry. It is going to give you a foundation of organic chemistry. You can go see the video and see what we are talking about. Remember, carbon can form 4 bonds, right? Now we are talking about this carbon. Now let's say we have the halogen here. These 3 are other bonds, right? But remember that the halogen is attached to a carbon that is bonded to another atom in a compound. So that means the carbon, this carbon that the halogen is attached to must have another group. Now let's see. This one has, let's say we have something like this, a CH3 here, which means this carbon has bonded to just one other group. Then you are going to have hydrogen. That's why you are having CH2. So this is regarded as a primary alkyl halide, right? Now, let's go further. Secondary alkyl halide. Secondary alkyl halide is when the particular carbon atom, remember, among all the compounds or all the carbons in the particular compound, we are only concerned about that particular carbon which the halogen is bonded to. Now, let's say we are having another alkyl halide where you are having something like this. The particular carbon atom that the halogen is bonded to. Let's use chlorine for example as well. The particular carbon atom. Now, let's say for example we are having another CH3 here, a methyl group here, and a methyl group here. It means that this carbon atom has bonded to two other groups outside the halogen. So you are going to have just this one hydrogen attached to that carbon. So this particular alkyl halide is said to be a secondary alkyl halide. Now, tertiary alkyl halide, same thing. Tertiary alkyl halide means that the particular carbon atom that the halogen is bonded to has bonded to three other different groups. So that means there is no hydrogen left. Remember, carbon forms 4 bonds, just like I told you. So you are having chlorine here. You can either have a CH3 group here, you can have a CH3 group, or you can have a C2H5 group here. So this is a secondary alkyl halide. Sorry, a tertiary alkyl halide. This carbon atom here that the halogen is bonded to does not have any hydrogen attached to it because it has been bonded to 3 other groups. This one has 1 hydrogen attached, secondary. It has been bonded to 2 other groups. This one has 2 hydrogen attached, has been bonded to 1 other group. So for an organic compound which the carbon which the halogen group is attached to, if it's bonded to 1 other compound, it is called a primary alkyl halide. If it's bonded to 2 other compounds, it's called a tertiary alkyl halide. If it's bonded to 3 other compounds or atoms, it is called a tertiary alkyl halide, right? Now let me give you some examples and ask you to indicate which is primary, secondary, and tertiary. Now let's take CH3, CH2, CH, CH3, and you have your bromine here. Is this a primary alkyl halide, secondary alkyl halide, or a tertiary alkyl halide? Now remember that when we are talking about alkyl halide, we are not concerned about all these other carbon. We are only concerned about the alpha carbon. Now the alpha carbon is the carbon which the functional group is bonded to. So this particular carbon is called the alpha carbon. So we are concerned about this carbon. Now remember that I told you that a primary alkyl halide has just 1 other group bonded to the particular carbon, which means it's going to have 2 hydrogen attached to it. While a secondary alkyl halide has bonded to 2 other groups, it's going to have 1 hydrogen attached to it. A tertiary alkyl halide has bonded to completely to 3 other groups plus the bromine or plus the halogen. So it's going to have no carbon. Now this particular carbon here that this halogen is attached to has been bonded to 2 other groups. So this is a secondary alkyl halide. Simple as that, right? Now let's proceed further. Let's look at physical properties.